Thank you so much for joining us on Extrabyte. My name is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici, and I am joined with my special guest here. Her name is Dree Mon. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, so I am loving your red wall, by the way, because I've got the artwork going in the back, but I love a good accent wall. I don't know, this is totally off the subject. So did you paint your own wall?
I did paint my own wall, and
Nice.
well, it's kind of a funny story. I don't know if I should mention it, but my ex and we broke up a couple years ago, and I
Hmm.
had to move out of our shared apartment, and I
Hmm.
moved in here, and he actually helped me paint the wall, which
Oh,
is a really like sweet thing.
are you
And
guys still friends?
we are cool, you know. We're cool.
Hmm.
I think it's just gonna take time,
Yeah,
you know.
kind of like that Gwen Stefani song, we're
Yes.
cool,
I
you
always
know.
think of that song, and I totally think of that, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Well, so I know that you've got so much. I mean, the art is pouring out of you onto the walls, obviously. So let's talk about music because you were first a dancer, right?
yes, yes, I was.
And so what kind of dancing were you into before you started getting into music?
I really loved, I kind of had an evolution with dancing. I started really wanting to do ballet,
Mm-hmm.
was like, nah, went to jazz, and then eventually went more into hip hop and like
Mm-hmm.
popping, locking, all kind of fun like street forms of hip hop. I even did belly dance.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got to a point where I said, everything vertical, like
Uh,
contemporary has so much like you're upside down, you're on the ground, like all I was like, I just want to be upright and I want to like
no more floor work.
yeah, I said I started like going through an evolution with it over the years. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love hip hop dance. I danced with a few other artists, and
Yeah.
I loved being backup dancer, learning choreography and interpreting someone's vision. That was very
Yeah.
cool. And I didn't see myself going more into the choreography direction myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, slowly started phasing into music, which really grabbed me and seemed like something that I needed to do next.
Well, so I know that you had kind of a big life event, we'll say that. And maybe you can describe that to the listeners or viewers of this particular extra bite. But tell us how your transition from backup dancing and incorporating that kind of artistry transition from, being kind of like a full time thing to kind of now I'm like my own artist. But there was a big event in the
Okay.
middle.
I did get hit by a car. I got hit by a
Yes.
car walking across the street. This
But
was like
that's a big event. I don't.
huge, no, this was a huge event. This
Oh
is
my
why,
gosh.
I wasn't able to dance for a while.
Uh,
But it happened more towards the earlier part of my dancing career. So
oh,
more
okay.
more before I was with my agent and
Mhm.
fully auditioning. But when I was just getting into that, and I'd been dancing all through my teachers and as a kid, and then I was like really, in this cool ripe stage. So it was
Mhm.
like still very jarring, and it did help me find music because I was out for quite a while, and
Yeah.
it took a year before I really could like feel comfortable in classes,
Yeah.
and there were still some things that I wasn't going to be able to do, but I
Yeah.
didn't need to do them. But it
Hmm.
was all just kind of a lot, and I had so many feelings that it started me writing, and that's really where I started songwriting there. And even though I did get back into dancing,
Hmm.
um, I I had that seed planted from
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah. Well,
So
I know that when people, I mean, you talk about it so calmly. I got hit by a car, like, oh my goodness. But I mean, obviously you have worked through whatever it is that happened, and because I feel like there is some therapeutic, portions of writing and getting, whatever it is that you have at that moment internalized out, because as an artist, you are always constantly creating. And I feel like every event, whether it's a breakup or a painting session on your wall, I mean, it could be an inspiration for a song, right? So I know that you've put out a lot of music videos, and in the videos you're dancing, they're pop, they're happy, I just wanted to get up and dance with you because it made me happy to see somebody so just like, jovial. And you've got backup dancers too, and in one of the videos that you have, there's kind of like that West Side Story kind of thing going. Exactly. So for me, I just look at it as an evolution of sorts. And so where do you see yourself going next? Because I know you have something coming out in December, am I right?
Yes, December 11th, I have a new song called Love Me at My Best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally going to be a continuation of what you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm I'm going to be working really about the idea of transformation
Mm-hmm.
because I've gone through so many transformations, and I think as humans we do,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's just going to be about um, transforming from what people want you to be
Mm-hmm.
to who you really are.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have different examples of different people in the video. Like we're definitely shooting a video, showing that transformation for themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be some dancing, and it's just gonna be awesome. So I can't wait to share it with you.
Yay. Well, so I will, if you're watching the video, just make sure you check the Extrabyte blog post, because I will put the information that she's going to give me into the blog post so that you can find out how to get that first, so you get the first listen. And then I did want to talk about some of the things that I saw on the internet. So you are on Twitch. You are singing for the gods. So you've got your instruments and full concert mode, like almost, I feel like you're taking requests, so what is it about that platform or any other platform that you've been doing kind of during the pandemic that kind of called to you that said, I need to get on here and I need to express myself?
Twitch has been such a godsend. I recommend it to anybody that's doing music, and it can
Mm-hmm.
be a lot to navigate and get into. But once you get into it, it's really rewarding because I feel like you have um, the best access to your fans and the best way to meet new fans, as well as they have access to you in this kind of intimate and personal way
Mm-hmm.
where you really, can actually have conversation as opposed to a live show where things are so fleeting and they're over here and you're over here,
Yeah.
or you're over there, and there's not a lot in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of a situation really breaks those barriers, but in a safe way. Obviously, you're still over here, they're still over there.
Right.
I love all my dream maniacs, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you can meet new people in a safe way. And
Mm-hmm.
what I really like, I had to express myself because I was doing gigs. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing gigs before the pandemic started. And so I was performing a few times a week sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
at bars and restaurants, and going down a couple hours south, like San Diego, Orange
Mm-hmm.
County, all over the place. And so for me, I was already in that mode. So when
Yeah.
everything just stopped and that work stopped,
Yeah.
after I took a needed like little hiatus to
Mm-hmm.
what
To
the heck,
figure it out.
yeah,
Like,
I
what's happening?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think we all needed that time. Maybe I still need it, but I found Twitch, and I'm just so grateful that I did.
Yeah. Well, so I know that when I was watching it, some of them are like an hour, or I mean, they go, so it's not like if you're tuning into her Twitch feed, you're not just hearing a song, you're hearing a full concert. You've come for the duration. So you will get a lot out of that experience for sure. What exactly do you like singing the best? You have a very broad range. What is the type of music that you like singing the best?
I really like anything that kind of has a little bit of an R&B flavor.
Hmm.
I'm so inspired by, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder. Those are some of my favorite artists of all time.
Yeah.
So if I ever get a chance to sing those songs, as long as
Hmm.
my voice is up to it, I am stoked.
Well, so what is maybe your favorite? I ask this of everybody: your favorite piece of equipment, or an app, or something that you use on a daily basis that you cannot live without right now.
Hmm. Well, as far as gear,
Hmm.
My Mackie mix board has been awesome.
Okay.
I really love that. And also my Apollo interface. Those are just
Mm.
amazing if you're streaming and if you're
Hmm.
doing any virtual stuffs.
Which everyone is right now. So, good tip if you are struggling on that equipment side. What do you think is maybe somebody that you might want to collaborate with? Who's your number one pick?
So, well, there's this artist. It's so funny, and he's an independent, I think, independent artist, but subsidiary of a major label. He's not
Uh-huh.
super mainstream yet, is what I'm saying. But his name is Phil Good, and he's a really amazing artist and songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
He also kind of has this fun play on words name, Phil Good,
Right.
and Good on. So I discovered him like not that long ago, and I was like,
Yeah.
I really love all his music. So I feel like that would be a person I would love to work with. And if it comes to somebody bigger, I guess. No, you know what I can think of though? I would love to work with Diane Warren as,
Oh.
work with her
Mm-hmm.
on writing a song. I think
Yeah.
that would be like the ultimate, like I could die
Mm-hmm.
now, you know?
Like, and I'm done. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I know that we talk a lot about, career transitions in the podcast on Sweet Bites with Sandra. What exactly do you think, as far as you've been around for a while and you've been doing this thing for some time? What is one thing that you've learned that you could share with people either watching or listening, who, maybe it's something that you would have liked to known at the beginning and you could tell yourself now, or just a piece of advice that might get a brand newbie person who might just get started in the music industry, get them going with a good head start.
Hmm. Definitely. I wish I didn't get in my own way so much. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge thing for me. I think when things start to go really well, I kind of like try to shift gears and go a different direction. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I do that. But I,
Is
it's
that
kind
self sabotage? I'm not sure.
of,
Yeah.
so don't do that. Also, yeah, and that kind of plays into just being really consistent. Like,
Yeah.
stay on it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's hard sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to do all the things that are required of us as artists or musicians.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that we're asked to do now.
Mm-hmm.
But just keep going. Stay curious. Stay
Mm-hmm.
playful. Stay don't ever think like, okay, I've gotten here and I'm good now. Don't
Yeah.
don't get complacent. There you can always learn something new. You can always
Yeah.
do more and learn more. And if something doesn't go your way, it's
Mm-hmm.
really not that big of a deal. That's the one thing. I think it can be really
Yeah.
heartbreaking if something happens, like you get eliminated from a vocal competition or you don't get the deal you wanted, but really it will blow over. And if you do take a break, you can always make a comeback.
Exactly. And there's always room for multiple comebacks, I should say, because there's so many actors and musicians and even educators who are making their way in different fields, if you will. So, that is such good advice for anyone, even if they're not an artist, to stay hungry, stay on the prowl, and make sure that you go after your dream on. Right? I know I'm not the only one who's ever done that.
No, it's great. It's great.
Make sure to
Great.
go to her website for all of her show dates. Can you tell them exactly what the website is?
Yes, it's dreamonmusic.com. It's DREEMON music.com.
Awesome. And so I'm pretty sure I saw all of your shows are listed there, and how to find your music is there as well. And she's also on Facebook and some other socials as well. So I'll post all of those so that you can follow her on social media too. So thank you so much, Dree Mon. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you. This was so fun.
All right. Bye.